I think we're up and running. I think we are. I hope we are. Yeah, we're up. All right, we are. We're doing a tier list. This meme is dead as hell, but I like talking about enemy design in video games, so we're gonna do it. And I'm a shit editor, so this is like a good excuse to have bad editing. All right, this is so horribly organized. I have yet to organize this. Fuck. All right, this way. All right, shit. This has already gone poorly. uh, we're just gonna talk about each individual enemy and their priority in which what should you kill first. God, this quality is really low. Fuck. It's partially a stream issue. Shoot, definitely on the internet's part. I apologize. The internet is absolute dog shit. I might as well just record this and upload it. Gonna. Hold on. Fuck. I closed entirely out of. Fuck. I closed entirely out of. Alright, I closed out of the stream for a second there because I'm a fucking idiot. Alright, I apologize on behalf of everything that has happened so far. Alright, we are going just put them in a list of priority, what you need to kill first, and what is generally not an issue. We're going to start with the first enemy you actually ever fight, and that is the Impusa. They are style fodder. That's pretty fucking obvious. They're meant to be style fodder. They are a beginner enemy. Generally, you're never going to have to deal with any pain in the ass with these guys. The second enemy you ever fight is green Impusas, and that's all the way at ensure quick demise. It would be top priority, but they are very easy to kill, so like you can kill them by complete accident sometimes. Green Impusas can heal to practically full health, especially on Dante Must Die. They can heal enemies, and it becomes a horrible pain in the ass, especially when you're dealing with a Fury and a green Impusa just heals it to full health. It is the fucking worst. The third enemy you fight is not Hellcanes. It is red Impusas, and they're a less immediate threat. The only reason they're not in not a problem / style fodder is because sometimes they'll burrow, but they're still considered as a part of the world space, so you'll lose style slowly after the actual fight has completely ended. Meaning that generally they are an issue you need to realize is there, but they are not going to assist your other enemies, and they are not a problem in terms of what can actually ruin you. The next one you fight is the Hellcane, and they are not a problem. They're not purely style fodder, but they will rush at you, and that can become a problem if they're in groups. They become a bit annoying to deal with, but generally they're not at all an issue. The next one you fight, I think, is Helen Torres, but it could be these Hellbats. I can't remember. We're just gonna do Hellbats. I think this is Hellbats. Yeah. They're a less immediate threat. In groups, they can be a pain in the ass, especially just flying enemies in general, and they shoot projectiles, which, that's a bitch, I'm gonna be honest with you. I apologize. They are annoying, but you don't have to specifically worry about them in any capacity. We're going to move on. Where the hell is the Helentora? Helentoras, they're also a less immediate threat. You don't really have to worry about them as much as you do just don't attack them until like you can actually like put in the effort to fight them. Just because then they'll rush at you and you can't properly defend by doing a knockback attack. You know what? I don't remember the actual anything else actually. I can't remember anything else. Like just the way it's going. So we're gonna do this. These guys, I can't remember what they're called at all. They're also a less immediate threat. I would put them in sure quick demise just because they're fucking annoying. But like stay in the air, dodge their attacks. They are not an issue. These, however, these fuckers are top priority. Behemoths, they are a problem. They can burrow and just jump out of the ground and ruin your combo. They are a massive threat. They are an issue. Do not let them live for long. Nobodies are ensure quick demise. I actually even put them over this guy. I will organize these in a minute. They're not at all organized. I'd actually put them over green impooses. The problem is they move down to here. In fact, I'd say they're even fucking like down here once you parry all three of their masks off, which is like one of their primary things. And since there's like 4 fights total outside of the Bloody Palace where you'll actually fight more than one nobody, and typically they're not spawned in one session. They're not really a problem. Unless they're put in a group where they'll change masks together, so you'll always have to deal with one at full strength. Riots, they're at the top of not a problem. Riots in groups can be a bitch, just because spikes. They'll roll at you, they'll ruin your combo, they'll practically juggle you, but you know, literally just break their spikes. And every character, I think except for Nero, has an option to break their spikes instantly while they're rolling. And that's, for Dante, quick drive, just because quick drive's not in the skill list, but press any melee button, and as soon as that melee attack is finished, practically while it's in the process of finishing, make the input for quick drive. Make the input for drive. You'll throw out a very, very fast drive. It will instantly break their spikes while they're rolling, and they're not a threat. They are not at all a threat when they are not rolling, not capable of rolling. In fact, I'd actually bring these guys and these guys down here as well. The only reason I had these guys up there is because they're a projectile, and we're talking about each individual enemy, not enemies in groups. Riots aren't a problem. They are just these guys. Sorry, these aren't riots, are they? They might be. I don't know. These guys are just worse. These guys. They're like these guys, but they never have spikes. So they'll never roll at you. They'll never juggle you. They might become a pain in the ass because they jump around, but they are not a problem. Furies, they're top priority. They are absolute top priority. Do not let these fuckers exist for long. Another thing in sure quick demise are these guys. I don't know what they're called. but they can throw out an insta-kill attack on Dante Must Die, and while it's got the slowest tail on the planet, and it's not hard to dodge or Royal Guard, if you are caught with in-hit stun when that shit goes off, you will die. You will die. The big Hellbats, Hellbat 2 Electric Boogaloo, they're a less immediate threat. Generally, you want to work on them if you can, and especially since they're air, and Dante, Nero, and to a slightly lesser extent Virgil, they can all do pretty good air combos. V can't, but I don't play V, so I wouldn't know anyways. It's just they throw out so many fucking projectiles, so they become a pain in the ass, especially if you want to no damage a run. So focus on other things first, but yeah, get rid of them. Hell Judicas, they are at the near top of ensure quick demise. They can summon other enemies. They can teleport. They are a bitch. They can throw their shit at you from a distance. Do not let these guys exist for very long at all. Proto-Angelos, they are not a problem. If there is Scudo-Angelos, they are a less immediate threat. You want to kill these guys first, though. But they're at the top of not a problem. And I actually say they're still under these guys. On their own, they're super slow. Their tells are all really slow, as long as they're not in red mode. And since you shouldn't want to be focusing on them, as long as they're not in red mode, they are literally, they can be style fodder if you can Royal Guard. These guys are style fodder. I know they're like the area boss, and they're kind of a bitch if they've got a million enemies around you that you're also working on. But they're easy to Royal Guard. They're easy to dodge with Nero. They're easy to trick dodge. They're really slow. They're a really big hitbox that you can just enemy step off of for free. They're not fucking problems. Death Scissors are a less immediate threat, but only because they can go into the walls and fucking rush at you. Literally just parry them. They're a pain in the ass, but parry them and shoot them with a gun or summon swords or literally anything. They will die in one hit after a parry, and it's not hard to parry these fuckers. Scudo Angelos, these guys, they are not a problem. I'd actually say they're a bit more a pain in the ass than a proto, because if a proto's around, there's a bunch of these around, and they're gonna rush at you because they can coordinate. Or Nate. You know what? I'm gonna put Proto up here just because they allow him to coordinate. And if you parry them, fuck. Thank God. And if you parry them, they're not a problem because parries of the Proto will break all their shields. I can't remember if it's parries of the Proto or the Scudo that'll break all their shields, and they need their shields to coordinate. That's the only real thing related to them at all. They're not a problem otherwise. You can actually Royal Guard and style on them like hell because they don't really have super armor outside of their shield. Enemies with super armor are always the worst enemies in the game, by the way, except for Queen and Booses, who are just kind of fun. I find them a very fun fight because they're this big area boss, but they're slow as shit, and you can dodge their shit easy, or Royal Guard them into oblivion. Now, if they're red, I'd actually put them in less of a less immediate threat, but that's only if they suck your blood, or drink the blood off the floor. So put them in less immediate threat if they're red, but they're not. So we're gonna organize these a little bit. Hold on. Stop. Fuck his mouse glide. Yeah, these are above behemoths. If there was a fury and a behemoth, I'd work on killing the fury first. The behemoth would be a fucking problem, but the fury would be first priority. Hell Judicas, Nobodies, then Green Impooses. Green Impooses are last, just because they're so easy to kill. You can kill them by accident. However, it will still be your fault if they heal anything. These guys here, just because they can summon all sorts of shit. With these, you can actually just parry them and ruin their fucking lives. It's not easy. It's like a harder parry, but still. Like I said, Death Scissors, parry, kill, instant. Proto-Angelo. Only really a problem in red mode. His attacks deal shitloads of damage. But dodge. That's the name of the game in DMC. You should never get hit. The point of DMC is to not get hit so you can style. Every character has some means of self-defense, whether that be parrying, because the parry system is in this game. Note that not all characters have a great parry. Virgil has an absolute shit time parrying things because none of his good attacks have frames outside of his screen clearers, which aren't exactly parrying anything. So yeah, just play defensively if he's like your primary threat, but otherwise just fucking ignore him. Only really notice his presence if he starts to run at you. You can literally train other enemies away from him, or stay in the air because he has no projectiles and has no vertical range at all. Red Impooses, they're only a problem because they can burrow and ruin your style. If you don't care about style, you just care about getting through it, like on Bloody Palace, where it doesn't matter or how stylish you are, they're style fodder. That's it. Whatever these guys call, because one of these is riots. I don't know about the other. Chaoses. These are chaoses. These are riots. Chaoses. This is literally just like they're ensure quick demise until you get rid of their spikes, and that's really quick. They're a pain in the ass in groups, but that's groups. This is one enemy we're talking about. Like if all of these guys were here in one, and like I said, get rid of Fury first. He's a bitch. He will ruin your day. Fury forces you to fight on his terms rather than more than any of these guys. But like in terms of all of these things, generally chaos is not what you're going to worry about at all. Chaos is just get rid of his spikes. You can do it by accident if you're in the middle of a drive and he tries to rush at you, and then he becomes literally worthless. Scudo Angelos, they are a fun enemy to fight. I will never say that they're not fun to fight. Their shields can get kind of annoying when they parry you, but that's kind of their point. But like that's just stun mechanics. Like putting you in hit stun's annoying. Stun's annoying when you're fighting them. Hell and Turas are only a problem if you actually pay attention to them. And think that you can kill them before any of these fuckers. Because then they will fuck your shit up when one of these distracts you. And they rush at you and you can't just put them on their ass with like a drive or whatever. Or Caliber or any of his other moves. Hell, just like the hell's my connection right now? Cavalier in general is good because good for Helen Tura because a lot of its attacks can loop and they don't deal knockback, which just Cavalier or just not finishing combos, just like canceling a combo and only doing a finisher, sure in the form of like Buster, or when you know it will kill it. Hellcanes, they're actually, I think they're the closest to style fodder without actually being completely worthless. They're the closest to style fodder without being like actively completely worthless. Just because they can block attacks not well, but like it's the same thing as Virgil's block in his boss fight. This fight, it's just like worse in every capacity. One exceeded caliber ruins it, or like a basic ass combo from like just a letter combo from like Devil Sword Dante or Yano. You know, God forbid it actually gets letter comboed by fucking the Mirage Edge. Riots in groups, they're a pain in the ass, but like I said, this is if all of these enemies were thrown out in front of you, just dodge them or royal guard them. Royal release on these fuckers ruins them. Not only does it shred their really really small amount of super armor, royal release will fuck these guys. It knocks them on their ass. You can put heavy stagger stun on them. So if you royal release another enemy and this happens to be in the area, he's fucked. Hellbats, like I said, only really a problem in groups just because in fact just because of the amount of shit they throw at you. But really, otherwise, are you going to be worried about a Hellbat? No. Queen Impousas, they deal a lot of damage, they've got a lot of health, but otherwise, they're really fucking slow. Slow, meaning you can just walk away from them, like leisurely stroll away from their asses. This is really easy to royal guard, and a big ass hitbox to jump cancel off of. You could say the same shit about behemoths, but they have way more health, are unnecessarily unfun to fight, and can burrow, meaning that you just can't hit them, and they'll pop out of fucking nowhere. So you have to constantly be thinking about them, and that is an absolute fucking pain. And we all know what Impousas are. They are the definition of style fodder, even in their slightly hyped up form, where they have the red sack like they do in this picture. Fuck, what is my internet connection? Getting 977 kilobytes a second here. What the fuck? One of my siblings is on the internet. I'm so glad I'm fucking moving. They are the definition of style fodder. They're the first enemy you fight for a very good reason. They're to introduce you to combat and act as just cannon fodder for you to enemy step and fuck around with. They are how like fucking stylish YouTubers like Don Gurry use Hellcanes in the Void. And that should be the end of the tier list. I think we're actually going to move on to Devil May Cry bosses. That would be pretty... yeah, that's a good idea. Not like priority, just how much I enjoy fighting them. Yeah, I am using... Smoking sexy style. Apocalyptic. S. A. We are going to skip C. Just gay. What? Fuck. God damn it. Dismal. I don't know how to spell apocalyptic. Alright, there we go. Yeah, that works. That works for me. Alright, what is this boss? I can't even tell what this boss is. What the hell is this? Now I don't know where it is. Inspect. That fucking... No. I don't know how to do anything. We're gonna zoom in. The hell? Oh, that's Gilgamesh. Alright, that's like 1/8 of Gilgamesh. I just did not expect that. We're going to do it in order, because I actually know the order of these bosses. Chairurazin. He is... His best fight where you can actually beat him is, like, apocalyptic. Like, it's A. But every other fight where you get your ass whooped, it's dismal, because it's boring as fuck. It's boring as sin. You can just sit there. And as Dante, you can just dodge for 8 seconds. It's less than 8 seconds, but Clyfoth Roots, it's B tier. It's okay. It's like Dismal is the only one that I think is actively bad. Badass is just average, and the rest are like good, great, amazing, perfect. And I don't have a Dante. I don't have Dante, but I will tell you where I would put Dante. It's like a really low health pool. It only really has 2 stages on like harder difficulties, and they're practically the same. It's just they use certain attack patterns differently, like just on a different rate. But generally, they are the same stage, and it has really low health. It is a starting boss. It's just to show you, hey, big hitbox, punch, kick, use exceed. You can style on it relatively. Like I like to just jump around for fun, and parry his shit. It also summons like occasional Hellenturas. I think Hellcanes as well, but like, that's not really a problem either. Just ignore it. Ignore it. Kill it if you need to. Like if you're gonna do a showdown, or if you fighting it just Dante for whatever reason because he doesn't show up in, it doesn't show up in Bloody Palace. if you're fighting as Dante for whatever reason, like you're just going back through the entire game playing as Dante in like a cheat table. Just fight it from range with like drives. And like all of Cerberus. Cerberus like jump, like all of its jump cancel shit. It's otherwise it's a fine boss fight. Um, Goliath, I like this boss fight. However, fighting him as Dante in Bloody Palace is fucking annoying because his big ass arms have slow tells, so I always royal guard them way too slow. So I just standard guard by accident, like complete annoyance. And they have weird hitboxes. This is Nero where you have a lot more aerial momentum, like, and since I can't use Redline in Bloody Palace because I refuse to just get a mod to, make it so I can use Cavalier R instead of Standard Cavalier, Dante really has no forward momentum that isn't like Rainstorm. And like somewhat revolver slash lightning revolver. So he's primarily being used on the ground, outside of just tricking into the enemy, which feels worse. It's worse. And Trickster is also weird against this boss. Sometimes like its hitbox is just weird about it. And otherwise, it's a fine boss. It's I'd say it's very enjoyable as Nero, specifically, and fighting it as Virgil's also pretty fun in Bloody Palace. Didn't fight him as V because I have not played Bloody Palace with V. Artemis is once again a very average boss fight. It becomes a fucking actively annoying in my opinion, like an actively annoying bullet hell shooter. Especially as Dante, for some reason his guns just don't do as much damage to like her boobs compared to Nero's like color up shots. Like even rockets from Kalina don't one shot him, and it just becomes like an active semblance of annoyance. You've got to really work on just keeping locked on to Artemis and only killing, like, just specifically attacking the boobs if they become like a specific annoyance. I think it does poor on Lady because her boss fight in DMC3 was awesome. I enjoyed it. And generally this game misused Lady and Trish entirely. The only reason they're there is because it would not make sense. Like it wouldn't make sense for them to not be there. That's it. The next boss fight is Needhog, I think. Actually, it might be Cavalier and Garion. I think it's Cavalier and Garion. I like this boss fight. I want to put it like on the edge of here, like maybe top of A tier, bottom of, or like way bottom of S tier, like S minus. But like it's a good boss fight. It's just Garion's use of time travel has always been kind of bullshit. Like slowing you down instead of it just looking like it's teleporting around. So you've got to, worry. You gotta worry about constantly dodging. So it tries to overwhelm you. Instead it just kind of sticks you in one spot. It's like that's not fun. But it's like it's V's best boss fight, definitely. That's not to say he's got very many at all, and definitely not very many good ones. But it's a good boss fight. It's fun to combo him and lead into Nightmare's big ass laser. That's fun as hell. I enjoyed that. But otherwise, this is a little bit boring. Needhog is the second worst boss fight in the game, in my opinion. Besides a certain boss fight that is only bad because I just personally don't like it. Needhog's really boring. and generally he's not very good. I think he's actively just bad in every way. Gilgamesh is the one you fight after that. I'm gonna have to go against the grain here and say that Gilgamesh is fine. It's just my personal opinion because you're jumping off of it's just one giant enemy step hitbox and he's slow as hell, so you can just play around with that and it's funny. It's funny. Hit giant weak spot, like press button to play game type shit. Other than that, it's like I said, it's a boring boss fight. People acknowledge that, but I like that it's just one giant enemy step hitbox. So, yeah, it's personal preference. Personal preference. I think the one after this, like, in terms of everything else, it's final. It's standing Urizen, but there's not a picture for it. I don't think there is. Yeah, there's no. This might be. No, that's Griffin. There's no standing Urizen picture. Standing Urizen would be in Savage. Now, the first SS tier is definitely Cavalier, because it's like right after Standing Urizen. In fact, you fight Standing Urizen twice. Once is Nero, once is Dante. The Cavalier's super fun. The only character he's not actively amazing on is Virgil, and that's just because Virgil can't parry very well. Very well, in my opinion. His good parry moves are all really janky, especially against Cavalier, who will throw out multiple hits before you can parry him again. Cavalier's fun. He's loads of fun, specifically as Dante. I guess she, because like I said, Trish, but it's loads of fun. I don't think that's ever going to be debated by anyone. Ever. Your girl, chicken woman, is going in apocalyptic purely on the fact that I just personally don't like her. I got really bored. You can parry her pecs, which is funny, but she kind of sucks at aiming them, so you don't know where they're gonna show up. Well, so you might just lose concentration as Virgil, or look like an idiot. Just generally look stupid, but as every other character. But she's fine. Showdown that bitch into oblivion when she does her stupid ass super long charged attack. Use punchline and stack up overture bombs on her. It's pretty funny. Funny to have a third of her health go away because you stacked like 8 overture bombs on her. Use your entire fucking double breaker magazine for it. But otherwise, it's not fun in my opinion. Cerberus goes in Savage and above Garion. I'd actually say it is the best of these 3 that we've gotten. Fire's fun to Royal Guard. Lightning's fun. Lightning's fun to use Gunslinger, and other shit on. Ice is. I don't like ice, but it's fun to welter weave through the icicles it summons because that's pretty funny. But it's a really good boss fight. You can combo. It's a really big hitbox. It's fun to use all of Dante's different styles. As Nero, it's fun to exceed on his back, and when he does stun, Showdown and Buster is fun. Generally, he's just fun with every character you fight him on. As Virgil, you can actually strategize and get rid of the head from the rotation that you just don't personally like fighting. You can do that with Dante as well, but it's very easy to do with Virgil because Judgment Cut is like OP as shit. But otherwise, it's a great boss fight. Urizen runs away from you, and that's really annoying. But he's still the best A tier boss fight, in my personal opinion. He just runs away way too much, and that's annoying as sin. But he's fun to Royal Guard. royal release all over the place on him. He can't hit you in the air, so that's fun. You can air combo this bitch with Cavalier and take away a third of his health because Cavalier air combos are fucking amazing and nobody wants to realize it. Yeah, he's a fun boss fight. These three are annoying as hell just because fucking bullet hell shooter mixed with like it's an RTS. It's an RTS where you're one guy. This guy's definitely worse. It's not a fundamentally bad boss fight. Technically it should go here, but I hate this boss fight. It's also a pain in the fucking ass to S rank just because of weird, weird ranking jank on the specific 18 is a really weird level about that. Virgil goes in SS tier. You'll see that it is lower than Cavalier just because I think this is the worst Virgil boss fight compared to Devil May Cry 3. I think the fact that he has less super armor than he does in Devil May Cry 3 is that is pleasant. And you can royal release when he does his demon jet bullshit. Generally, he's fun. You can kind of combo him, but he hops out of combos. He forces you to play a little too defensively, in my opinion. Until you get Nero, in which a hit of his super armor goes away. He's slightly less aggressive, and your double trigger regenerates unnecessarily quickly, enabling you to fucking stomp Virgil. And when he does his demon jet thing, it's still really fun to buster him out of that or hit it with trigger heart, since it's like the much safer but slightly less stylish option. But Virgil, in my opinion, is still worse than Cavalier. Cavalier, I just feel like it's more fun. It's also easier to parry Cavalier, and that's really satisfying. You'll notice that I left SSS completely empty. That's because the Dante boss fight goes here. But I don't have a picture for the Dante boss fight. Dante is like Virgil's boss fight, but better. The only thing that is worse is that he got more fucking super armor. Sure, I've seen a lot of people make the pretty reasonable claim that it's just trading chances to combo, but you get to combo him for a lot longer. Or you get to actually fight offensively. It would be more offensively if they took away a couple hits of his fucking super armor. That's like Smoke's most annoying thing as well. But I think this is the best boss fight in the game. It's the best designed. He throws at shitloads of different stuff. He's really unpredictable. It feels more like DMC3/DMC4 boss fights. And one of my complaints with this game is it is a little bit easier than DMC4. That's a mix of the engine being a lot better and the enemies being much better designed, but still DMC, the enemies are still not amazingly designed. It's just like very above average in my opinion. Not really anything beyond that. But like Dante feels like a boss fight from DMC4. C4. It's not near as difficult as DMC3. Thank God. That thing is that is Dark Souls level difficulty. In my personal opinion. And in Dark Souls, you can always just wait out the boss. In DMC3, if you want to avoid using items, which I prefer to because I think items are excessive bullshit. It is an absolute pain in the ass. But yeah, that is the completed tier list for DMC5 bosses. Now I have literally no other tier list ideas to do, so we're just gonna stop streaming.